This podcast contains strong language and discussions about relationships, sex, and love. It may not be suitable for younger listeners. This is the Can't Keep My Mouth Shut podcast, and I am Nixalina. Hello, welcome back to another episode of me. This week, we're going to be talking about sex. Sex. It is called So You Love Them, but the sex is shit. Now what? You know what? I used to be a love conquers all kind of woman. You love me, I love you, we can now do anything. Anything. Penniless, it's okay. Love conquers all. Actually, no. Sorry to rip that Band-Aid off pretty fucking quickly. Love does not conquer all. And it certainly doesn't supersede a shit fucking sexual connection. Sadly, you can find someone who you love, you have an emotional connection to, but that doesn't necessarily mean you have an amazing sexual connection, and it's fucking annoying and it's shit across the board, and you left in like, what do I do? Because you don't want to be that person that's like, oh, if sex is shit, I bounce, because then you sound quite hollow, right? And superficial. But, big but, you can't really be in a relationship long term with shit sex either. Because it just doesn't fucking work. So, let's start off by detailing some issues which makes sex shit in a relationship, and they will probably be based on my personal experiences in the past. So bear with me as we talk about that. But yeah, let's dive in and work out some of the issues, the main issues. So the first one is mismatch of libido. I was left with one of my exes begging for sex, right? And I'm not a nymph. I'm not. But you know, like a handful of times a week would be fucking nice, and it's what I'm used to. And I'm used to men who were like gagging at the bit to have it at least once a day, if not more. And this particular ex, like, I would have to be begging, and he'd say no. And it would be like, you know, in the morning, at the weekend, or even if we went out dancing together when we get back, no. Drinking together, and I'd no. Fucking mental. Now, I have a feeling this person was kind of using it as a tool against me. So actually, he was doing it on purpose. But many a time, there is a mismatch of libido. And it's a fucking problem. Because if one of you feels you have to always put out, oh, God, and the other one feels they're not getting any and they're always declined, that relationship is going to suffer and more likely end. I got to be honest, because the one who needs it more, who's not getting any, they might even cheat. Do you know what I mean? They might look elsewhere because they're like, fuck this. And I'll be very clear, with the ex of mine who was just not putting out, I had about a month left, right, in me. I started writing pros and cons list, and I was like, I'm sexually starved. He doesn't kiss me properly anymore. He doesn't cuddle me. Like, honestly, to God, if I was trying to get a kiss, it would be like I'd got like a slap on the lips, like I was 12 or something. I'm like, bro, what happened to fucking kissing me like a woman? What happened to sex? What the fuck is going on? And then, of course, the more I'm like calling him out on it, the worse it got, the more he didn't want to do it, and it just spiraled. But I was about a month out of being like, just on sex alone, I'm jumping ship. I'm not a cheat. No, never. That's not who I am at all. But a part of me was like, I'm sexually starved here. This ain't normal. This is, you know, it's not like we're 10 years in or married with kids or whatever. Like, this is weird as fuck and something I'm not used to. Like I said, general consensus of most of my relationships is like, guys are just on fire to get me. No, it's very interesting. But And also, I'm such a romantic, so I'm like, love first, love conquers all. And yet that situation, yeah, I had 1 month left. In my head, I'm like, if nothing fucking changes, I'm out the fucking door. Luckily, it finished before then. I got set free. But yeah, mismatch of libido, huge, major player in shit sex during a relationship, sadly. And it's probably something you can't really work around, right? Because it means one of you has to change their natural dynamic towards intimacy to suit the other one. Slippery slope. Selfish lovers. So this is where sex is all about their needs. They want to be pleasured without bothering to pleasure. I've sadly also had a couple of those. One of them, basically, I had to beg to, like, go down there with me. I'm like, dude, go down there. Like, come on now. Whereas every time we had sex, he expected me to give him a blowy and then we have sex. And at the beginning, okay, yeah, it was fun, like, don't mind a blowy, whatever. But when it starts to be the only thing that happens, and when you start to feel like, well, you're lying there, like, I could be anyone. He's literally fucking my mouth, and then we're having sex for about 3 minutes, and then he's done. Like, right, okay, no. When that happens over and over again, you're like, then I'm starting to think, why would I bother? Selfish lovers are shit. And yeah, that's it. It's just crap. It's just shit. You can bypass it for a bit. But if it's so fucking obvious that they have no intention of bothering to even try and pleasure you, or they don't seem to get pleasure out of your body, then it's like, I don't see how that could be a sustainable relationship between the pair of you just on that alone. They never listen to what turns you on either. So, I'd be like, I like to have this. I like to, to maybe talk to me. I like to be strangled. And then I'd get it like once after I mentioned it, and then that'd be it. I'm like, oh, okay. Or I'd be like, I like it when you say this or when you say that, and then silent sex. And I'm like, it's quite silent. Like, dude, listen to what I'm fucking telling you and step up. I'm not a bag and a hole just so you can spunk all over me and fuck off. Give me pleasure back. So yeah, selfish lovers, not a vibe. Also, selfish lovers, they usually entail being a fucking selfish prick in the relationship. I mean, it goes hand in hand, right? If they're like, my needs are met only in the bedroom, you can bet your fucking dollar they only want their needs met outside the bedroom, and you basically are there to serve. Fucking no. Run a mile. Another issue is where porn overtakes your actual sex life. That happens frequently. People masturbate to porn. Okay, great. I am not against porn. I'm not. I love it, actually. But when it becomes the only thing that they're interested in and you're now the backup, like they would rather go and tug one out and watch a movie. A movie makes it sound good. Go and watch a pleasant romantic movie. If they'd rather do that than have sex with you, it's a fucking issue. If you've become secondary to fucking porn. All my relationships, I'm like, bro, porn can be included. I love it. Like, talk to me. Show me what you're watching. Let me see what your kink is this week. It's fine. As long as you're still fucking me. As long as we still have a great sexual relationship. I don't give a fuck what you watch when you masturbate. But often, men can't handle the fact that porn is not reality. Their brains get a little bit confused. Or they're like, yeah, like, her vagina's perfect and yours has got hair on it. Yeah, because she's a porn star, so her vagina is a live-in. So, of course, it looks spotless. But women, groundbreaking, they have hair down there, bro. And if you shave it, you might get shaving rash. You wax it, you might get ingrown hairs. It's called life, darling. So you either fuck a porn star and marry a porn star and deal with having men inside of her coming all over her face for a living, or accept that real women don't have bleached buttholes. Your choice, darling. Another my issue is if they're sexually checked out. Now, you may be thinking, haven't you covered this? No, I haven't. Because mismatch of libido is not sexually checked out. Selfish lovers is not sexually checked out. Sexually checked out is when they are just not interested in sex, end of story. So, like, I could get dressed up in lingerie. And I remember one boyfriend of mine, for the first time ever, I got dressed up in lingerie. I think it was Valentine's was the occasion. And you know me, I have so many beautiful sets. I've done so many photo shoots. And this particular one was extra kinky, as in it would not have made it to the Instagram grid. And I remember coming out and standing there and showing him, thinking it's literally the first time he's seen me in full lingerie. And it's a surprise. He had no idea it was coming. And I expected I might be coming. No. You kind of weren't bothered. And that's when I remember thinking, like, okay, this is a fucking problem. I was expecting a drop everything, fuck dinner plans, let's go straight to the bedroom kind of vibe. Grab the Prosecco on your way. No. Weird. I might as well come out in a fucking Teletubby outfit. Just bizarre. Sexually checked out is someone who's not, maybe they're not sexually into you, and that is a horrible thing to say out loud and to grasp, but if it's reality, it's reality. Or maybe they're sexually checked out in general. Maybe they they can't get hard. You know, like, I hear all about these roid rage. I've never been with a man who's openly admitted to taking steroids, but I have my suspicions on a handful of them. But yeah, like, roids shrink your dick and make it difficult for your dick to stay hard. So that might be it. Maybe the change in sexual appetite is, I don't know, they're or medication. Maybe not steroids, but maybe they're on medication for something else. You know, even like the pill, the hormones in the contraceptive pill for women, that fucks up your sexual appetite as well. It's one of the reasons why I don't take it, because, yeah, it messes with you and you're like, nah. So yeah, it could be that. There are other factors at play. Obviously, all of your thing is all individual, but regardless, having one of you sexually checked out, it's not gonna last, is it? Long term, things have to change. Because it just affects your whole relationship. And what it does is it ruins the self-esteem of the other person. And that's the real shitter. Like, that's the crappy part that I don't like. And finally, moving on from, say, roid rage, I'd say finally dick issues is a reason why you get shit sex. A lot of the things I've found in the past is men needing supplements via Viagra, little blue pills, because they drink too much, or when they are drunk, they take it to get hard to have sex. Okay, right. Fine if it's a one-off and you can still stay hard sober. Not fine if you struggle to stay hard sober and you're popping pills more than a couple of times a week because you're always drinking. Like, that is a problem. I'd say dick issues in terms of staying hard and or coming too fast. Now, coming too fast is not as much of a problem in my eyes. I could be wrong for you. For me, it's no real biggie as long as they kind of ensure that I'm satisfied. Then I'm like, whatever. If they're not, if they're just coming after like 3 minutes and then rolling off you, I mean, okay, if that happens once or twice, but if that's the fucking baseline narrative of your sex life, like, mate, like, at that point, I'd just be like, go watch your porn. Wanking you 3 minutes into your fucking hand. Like, what am I here for? So, yeah, dick issues is a difficult one because often it's not actually their fault, but it's their fault if they don't address it and change their lifestyle to correct it. Okay? It's also their fault if they blame you for it and you've done nothing wrong. You haven't changed since day dot. They just decide like this event or what you start clocking on that they're taking some supplements, or you start clocking on and you're voicing the fact, you know what I mean? And it's your fault. That's a problem. And finally, I said finally earlier, but this is just a quick side point. If you only have drunk sex and you don't have sober sex, that's a problem. Lots of people do only get horny when they're drinking, and I get it, but for a long-lasting relationship, and we're talking about being in love with each other, you need to have a beautiful, sober sex connection. And you can go and dig into the archives of my podcast. There is I think it's a season 7 episode where I basically talk about how I prefer sober sex over drunk sex any day of the week. It's fucking amazing. And if you're not getting that and you're just getting the drunk stuff, and it's like, it just feels that it's such a different superficial connection. So yeah, I'm out of it on that one. So all that being detailed, how to fix it, right? How do we fix shit sex? There's a few main things. Communication is your number one, always your number one key thing. You need to be able to voice that you're not sexually pleasured. You need to be able to sit and have honest conversations. You need to say, hey, that like, you're not kissing me even anymore. You're not fucking me and you're making me beg for physical attention. Like, this isn't right. And hopefully, after you've communicated, things change. You could also try new things, as in like introducing lingerie, looking up, I don't know, tantric sex, looking up different sexual positions, introducing new toys. You could try and spice it up that way. Usually it does help, but of course it depends on the issues that you're dealing with, of which I've already outlined. It depends which one of those is going on, to how trying new things would work or not work. And you can also take the pressure off. So a lot of the time, the person pulling away just feels pressured. And so it's very difficult then with the communication because, you know, I try and say it once, like, this isn't working, you're not fucking me, like, I don't understand. But then I try and leave it because if I said that every fucking time I try and have sex, or if I said that every week, it's too much. So try and take the pressure off and let sex basically happen organically. And I know that's difficult for those like, I waited organically, it's been 5 months. I get it, and it's shit. But basically, I'd say they're the 3 core things you can try and fix this. And if they're not working, the relationship will come to a natural end, and or you finish it. And that's harsh as fuck to say out loud, but it's the truth. You can't continue in a relationship where the sex is so shit that you're feeling frustrated, unloved, neglected. Because it's not just about an orgasm. It's about your whole connection to yourself. When women and men are loved right and the sex is amazing, that physical connection, they just radiate, you know? They're not sitting there feeling insecure, unconfident. You know, am I ugly? Did I put weight on? Did I lose too much weight? Are my feet not right? I mean, is my vagina not okay? Is my dick too small? You're not affecting someone's like core belief about themselves. And I prolong periods where sex is either shit or not happening, then that affects you. It does. Which bleeds into the rest of all the other areas of your life, your work, your friends, you know, how you show up for yourself. So you may think it's just sex and just a relationship. It's just sex. I love them. They love me. No, it's a big deal. And I think we should all be able to say that. It's a big fucking deal. It matters. Which is why I'm doing this episode. I hope this has helped on any level. I'm sorry if you're going through this. I have been through this before. And so I get it. And I get how shit it makes you feel. And I'm sorry if the answers aren't what you want in terms of basically you try a few basic things. If nothing changes, it's probably the end of the relationship. But I genuinely believe that's the case. Now, before I do check out and leave, I will say so many couples go through dry spells. Then the sex picks up again. And it's external factors. Maybe there's stress at work, there's changes, a puppy got adopted, a baby came on the scene. These are different scenarios. This is external life factors that affect the dynamic. Totally get it. Super normal, super normal, absolutely fine. I'm talking about the moments where like there is nothing big. it's just something overnight changed, or this happened from day dot. So as soon as you met, there was a mismatch of libido. As soon as you met, they were selfish in bed. Their dick didn't work. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a different scenario to say a couple who have been obsessed with each other for 5 years, but just had a baby, therefore sex has waned. Normal. Do not split up. Do not go around saying, Nick said we split up. Do not. Okay? On that note, I'm going to bounce because I've waffled again. I know, but you love my waffle. That's what you're all here for. And I look forward to seeing you all next week. I'd love to hear from you how you feel about this particular episode. And if you have any episode ideas, because I'm always eager and open to covering topics that you need me too. You can email me. You can slide into my DMs on Insta. You can reach out to me however you want. Across socials, it's at Nixalina, Nixalina. And with that, thank you all. And I will see you all next week. Thanks for listening to the Can't Keep My Mouth Shut podcast. Produced and hosted by me, Nixalina, and recorded in the Splice Cast Studios in Singapore. I'm available to listen to on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google, and all major podcast listening apps. Do subscribe to enjoy a new episode every Monday evening. Please do give me a 5-star review. It helps other people also find my podcast. For more content and features to read, you can check out my website, nixalina.com. That's nixalina.com. I'm also on social media. Simply search at Nixalina, Nixalina, to find me. Don't be shy. Come say hi.